Hello dissenters, my name is Italix and I am here today with a game in development on the PC called Species, a game about evolution. And this game has been in development for many months now, and I think this is the newest update, which was just released this past week. This game's gonna see you taking a tiny little blob, something that looks very much like a little gray worm, and we're gonna try to make it grow and mutate into something else. And you have many controls at your disposal. It comes default with these settings already predetermined for you, but you have tons of customization with this. And I want to also mention this is free to download. There is a link in the description of this video if you want to mess around with this for yourself. Think of it like a more in-depth kind of Spore type game, with the primary gameplay mechanic being observing these creatures and trying to influence their environments. So I'm not really going to mess with this much. You can randomize your own map, so it's going to look different each time. It's going to have different features, might have like a lake in it. So one thing I am going to bump up is the mutation rate. This determines how fast your little worm-like creatures will change and mutate, so the higher the value is, the more random difference between the parent and the child. So what I'm going to do is just go crazy and just triple this number. So we're going to make the mutation rate 3 instead of 1. Maybe we should just go even crazier. Let's just go 5. 5 times the normal mutation rate, and there's plenty of other things for you to mess around with as well. Each of these will have a profound impact on what happens to your little blank slate little creatures here. So let's go ahead and generate the terrain and see what happens here in Species. Alright, as the game loads in, you're going to see the trees are kind of populating themselves. The trees will grow with it and die over time. And we can change the camera angle here by zooming in to get a little better look at what these creatures are doing. So we can zoom in here and see. Here's our little creature right here, just running around. He's feeding on a little plant. They're herbivores at the moment, just chowing down on some grass. Delicious. So as they eat, they're going to be glowing green to indicate their feeding process. They will glow green for other instances, mostly, for example, making babies. So they make little worm babies, little wormlets, and those are going to start growing up as well to become bigger worms. And as they go down the chain, have more and more babies. You can see some of these have already gotten a little bit bigger in size. They're going to start mutating. Oh, there's some cute little baby worms right here. Oh, look at that one. He's just a little ball head with a little circle. Alright, so there's some things you can do on this menu, lots of things actually, lots of data layers and things for you to check out. So if I open up the ecosystem mode menu, we can see the satellite map, all the gray dots representing our little omnivores here, and we can actually highlight and see each one individually. You can see some of these are actually changing colors due to the mutations. Some of them have longer tails now, it seems like, so you can see each individual one, which is awesome, just by highlighting them right. Whoa! Hey buddy, you got a big head there. You might want to slow down on the eating. Seriously, this is a big head. There's some other menus as well. For example, the clay diagram, we can see the mutations have already started in force. With a mutation factor of 1, we'll have the dominant species going down a lot further, but right now we've already got some crazy minor species growing out. Look at this guy, he's starting to look like a crocodile here. So I've just really accelerated the mutations just to try to get some really crazy looking creatures. This is only the very beginning of the game. We also have some fast forwards at our disposal, so I can do 10 times speed, and we can really watch as these escalate very quickly. We can also see the number of creatures I have over here. It is possible for your creatures to go extinct and completely die out. As you can see here, we've got some fossils. These are some lines that didn't make it. Right now we've got about 600 of these creatures, and there's plenty of controls besides just fast forwarding to manipulate what they end up changing into. Alright, so what can we do? For example, well, we can introduce a rover. So let's slow down a little bit, take a little closer look. We can see some corpses here as some of these guys start feeding on the meat and flesh of their dead, fallen, former allies. Let's take a look at the rovers. So here are the rovers. We can add a rover in and choose to either feed or kill certain types of creatures. In the feeding process, we can choose a ton of different attributes. So if you want to feed those who do the most attack damage to try to encourage them to do more damage and be better at attacking other creatures, you can choose to reward that behavior. If you want to feed the ones that are the smallest or that have the tiniest appetites, you can do that as well. There's plenty to choose from here. Let's pick a weird one. Alright, we're gonna reward the ones with the highest size. Limb size. Okay, let's do that. Limb size. Sounds good. So, it's gonna feed creatures with high limb size, and here's the cool thing. You can see it on the satellite. Let's open up the satellite right here, and we should be able to see here, in fact, is the rover, and better than that, we can actually take control of it. So let me open up the appropriate menu. Let's drive this bad boy. All right, are we in the water right now? Let's move the camera so we can see. Look at all the death and destruction out here. All right, I'm facing the wrong way. Look at this guy. Oh, some of these guys are they're just mutating crazily. I would not recommend a mutate factor of 5. It goes a little too fast. I didn't realize what I have done. All right, let's cruise around here and take a look at this guy. What are you? You're starting to look like, I feel like you're halfway to a triceratops. You just need a few more legs, this little spike coming out of your head. You're just kind of waddling around next to these little speckled creatures. Basically, mothers in this game mode have their babies and they don't even know who their babies are with a mutate factor of 5. So, anyways, you can drive this little thing around. Yes, you can go through trees just to make things easier. If you don't take control of the rover, it will drive around and automatically feed or kill the creatures that you've designated for the game's purposes, and that will encourage them to become dependent on the rovers for food in some cases. So there's other things you can do as well as I figure out how to untake control of the rover. There we go. You can watch it just zooming around, feeding other dudes. We got some other controls at our disposal. For example, global warming, so we can increase or decrease the average temperature. We can make the ground more or less fertile, and even make the water level rise. Let's see what making the water level rise will do. So let's just increase it. You can see it steadily making all of these creatures start floating, some of which probably don't know how to swim. Look at the water. I think I increased it just a little too much. Everything is being swallowed by the ocean. And here's something else we can do as well. We can actually affect individual creatures if we so choose. So with the creature selection mode, I can move individual creatures if I want to. So I've picked one up, I can place him over here, take him away from his mommy. So you can put different creatures in different environments, see how they fare. In addition, you can feed individual creatures. So I've got the feed button now. I can feed this guy until he's full. He might become dependent on me to feed him, however, so you have some dangers associated with that. We've got a murder button. We've got the murder button. All right, let's see. Who should we pick to use the murder button? First of all, I'm going to put the sea levels back down a little ways. So let's make the water level recede a little bit to 0.1. All right, who's the biggest, ugliest creature? You're going to get punished. You, sir, with the big mouth. Oh, you just died. Okay, we're going to have to find a different one. What are you? Look at that face. That little bitty eyeball. Oh, you think you're going to feast on your dead friend? I don't think so. Murder button. Did I just kill him? Is he dead? Yes, he's dead. So you can just go around and kill whoever you want to. You can take a gene splice and forcibly mate 2 creatures. So there's 2 really different ones that you want to pick from. You can choose those. You can irradiate certain creatures. Look at all the death and destruction. Rapidly increasing and decreasing the water levels have had an adverse effect on our animal population here, it would seem. In fact, there's none living over here in the mountains right now. And now what we're going to do is see what happens. We got 180 creatures. We've got the button U, the hotkey, which is going to let me super fast forward through time. And we can watch this number and see if they perish or if they flourish. It seems to me that they're perishing very slowly. They're kind of sticking around 120. So maybe things not so good here as we fast forward times 3. Look at these guys. Look at these guys walking around with their little stub arms. And we can go back to our sweet little diagram and see what they're doing here. Look how wide this spectrum has become with all of our extinct creatures. Oh my goodness. So anyways, guys, this has been Species. I just wanted to give you a quick little preview to show you what this game was about. It's really just a sandbox. There's no end-game goal. It's all about seeing what kinds of impacts you can have just by subtly changing different things in the environment, adding some rovers. You can have rovers go out and kill to purge certain pieces of the population, so you can really fine-tooth comb your way through the species and try to cultivate whatever you want to cultivate. And there are plenty of statistics here and averages. In fact, let me find those averages here. So switching through these different species, I can see their neck length, the head size, how much attack damage they do while they were still alive, how aggressive they were, their curiosity, what kinds of impacts they had, if they were apathetic, so on and so forth. Lots of details here. It's a really cool game. I encourage you to try it out again. It is for free right now. The link is in the description of this video. Just something fun to pass some time and see how advanced you can get. Look at these guys growing right here, eating all of the grass from this area, just making babies, dying, eating each other. What is this? We're gonna make a race of like flying pterodactyls. This is the biggest one I've seen yet. I think he just died. He was too big for his own good. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. My name is Italics, and I will see you next time.